Bring us in, baby.
Welcome to IoT Coffee Talk. All of your hosts are now who's who in Onalytica's IoT, who's who in IoT, for 2022. That means you, Leonard. And that means you other people who aren't on the call yet.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Exactly. And wherever you're walking to, you're now losing your signal, Leonard, and you've frozen.
Oh, I've frozen?
Yeah, you were okay back when you were in that open area, but now you're okay now again. But when you walked through some hallway, you disappeared.
So when people say that we don't need 5G, there you go.
Mm-hmm. We need lots more microcells.
No, you know what has to happen is I need to travel less. Jeez.
You've been literally on the road,
every week.
Yeah.
It's nuts, dude. And you know what's worse is that the more I travel, the more visibility I get, the more invitations or people reaching out to me to get me to come out to their conference. And so
it snowballs.
Yeah, it's like madness. And so
as long as
it's good stuff though.
As long as all that turns into dinero.
Oh yeah. Well, but I think you just have to meet people. There's tremendous depth in face-to-face conversations. Having dinners and going out and drinking and doing all the stuff that we do at events that never hit the headlines.
Right.
But hey, it's like what I tell people. All these younger folks who are so fixated on doing all this digital. Oh, we're going to do everything on social. We're going to be working from home. Oh, we're going to, business is going digital and no one's going to be face to face anymore. And we're all going to do these ridiculous Zoom calls and we're going to be interacting with bots. And look, you know what? You can go do that. And the people who are going to invest in the face-to-face to the people and building real relationships, not fake digital ones, with people that actually make decisions,
makes all the difference in the world, man.
They will have the competitive advantage, and that is why we do this stuff. Why everybody is going to go back to normal, because normal is where the competitive flow takes us, So anyway,
absolutely.
That's my rant, dude.
No, well, it's not a rant. It's just real, people need to be real, face to face for sure. Hey, David,
we have a blast.
What's up, crew?
Leonard.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Leonard is broadcasting live from Austin, Texas. What is the name of your event? Tell us what this is all about, dude.
This is called the Big 5G event here in Austin, Texas, at the Austin Convention Center. And so, look, you can tell that this is a bustling event. But hey, don't let the sparse crowd or lack thereof fool you. This is a really freaking good event. The first day, I was a little bit concerned because there probably was no more than about 200 people at some of these sessions. And then the second day, the exhibition hall opened up, and then there was a crap ton of people. I would say about 600-700 people.
Right.
But you have some. I've met so many people here that I have not seen in so long, or who I've developed initial relationships with, online in the digital realm. But there's been a lot of cementing of relationships, actual substantiation of relationships at this conference.
That's good.
So it was really cool. Yeah. And it was nice to hear people talk about, oh yeah, I've been following you, I've been reading your stuff. And then you can have exchanges of ideas and get a sense of how what like what I'm doing with NextCurve, impacting the way that people are thinking in the industry, which is really cool. And you don't necessarily get that feedback. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you get it bumping into people. Oh yeah. And then you also get it from the sense of urgency that certain folks have in wanting to meet you in person, which is kind of cool. But like I spent a lot of time with Vico, at Mavenir, and I always learn from that dude. It's always great to chat with him and get his stories from the field. And there's a lot of reality here, and that's what's really cool. And you can also constructively challenge people's thinking without getting pissed off at each other because you have like alcohol in your bloodstream. And everyone's feeling good.
Right? I saw the picture of you and Vico drinking Shiners.
Oh yeah,
that's good beer. That's awesome, man.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Hey, David, we're famous. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard you plug in NextCurve, but I'm wondering if one of the attendees at this 5G show gave you their sleeve for you to autograph IoT Coffee Talk, and then they're going to tattoo it.
Wouldn't be a surprise, I think once the news really gets out, because this is new to me, that will happen at the next event.
Yeah,
for sure, David. We're famous.
Yeah. Well, but we have I've been following the event through their social media page, and I guess we all have a bunch of friends over there from from the telcos, from other CSP. Oh, yeah. And I agree with you, Leonard, that the driver is these folks have been talking to each other for some time, completely remotely, and they want to see if people pass the BS test face to face, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is this happening? Are we doing that? Is this real? Is that real? So I'm glad you're over there.
Yeah, and then people doing some real stuff with the technologies and the infrastructures that are being built out. Taking these hypotheticals and proving out which ones are actually real and which ones are not. And on the technical end, getting into some pretty, what I love doing is I always say is I don't really want to talk to CEOs all that much because I can Google what they say. It's fun to meet with them, but it's the engineers at the booths, the product managers. Those are the guys that are really interesting to talk to. You can ask them some, substantial questions, right, and get some real great insights from them. On the technical front. And then that gives you a lot of that fodder or that material for you to start stitching together. Well, where are we with all this stuff? And where are we progressing on certain fronts? And are there certain challenge areas that we still have a lot of work to do in smoothing over so that, things like Open Rant can continue. But, the tough job is always cutting through all the BS and hype,
Now,
stuff is
Leonard,
completely non-constructive.
So let me ask you, so is anyone in there talking to customers, the end users, or are we going into full on, echo chamber from vendor to supplier to let me hear it.
Yeah, so first off, this event is hosted by Informa, who I think Omdia is, one of its little satellite companies. So light reading, heavy reading, everyone in the industry is familiar with them. But the thing that's kind of impressed me so far is most of the sessions, because vendors have to meet and sort of be accountable to their customers, the discussions, you can have some fluffy stuff and then it can quickly not devolves, it actually just ascends to this level of, okay, this is where we really are. Let me show you a PowerPoint slide that shows all the deficiencies that we have and why, a particular technology, not naming names, I don't want to make any technology feel bad, why this shit is not happening. and then all these really honest conversations. And there's so many layers of technology that you have to talk about, from silicon all the way up to, like the hypervisors and the containers and apps that you're running on top. These architectures are so complex now that it's interesting to see everyone kind of grapple with the realities of these hypotheticals and having to work these issues out, or at least have some kind of constructive conversation with their customers and partners on how they're going to solve problems. So one of the things that I posted was how it was refreshing to see the problem-oriented discussions at this forum. And you usually don't get a lot of that at some of the larger trade shows or industry shows. You get a lot of, hype and hot air. So yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Well, technology is not people, so there's no feelings to hurt, Leonard. Just saying.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. Hey, what's up? And then I saw this dude.
You did.
Yeah, for reals.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's got like a freaking barrel chest, dude. I bet you could do 700 push-ups. You don't know. You can't tell. His freaking thumbnail looks so small.
It was awesome. It was awesome to actually meet in person. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and so now the only one left is David.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Come on, man. I thought you were coming my way.
I am coming. I am coming out there. Guaranteed, I'm coming out there.
I'm going to slide into your DMs, Bill, right now. I'm sending my digits.
Yeah, and I also met with Ryan Treese.
Yeah, I saw
had
that
dinner
picture
with him. Really, really cool guy.
He's a great guy.
We had a great conversation. And so we had dinner at a nice steakhouse.
Awesome.
And it was fantastic to meet him.
That's awesome.
When did we meet? We did the house crap with him a long time ago, and then we had him on our show a few times, and he was a great guest. And hopefully we'll just have him on as a regular.
I think I originally met him on Clubhouse back when Clubhouse was hot. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Clubhouse is dead, right? It is dead.
You know what?
It's dying.
It's still going. I don't know how well it's doing. Just to keep it real, I still join in, Ryan and a bunch of folks have their little Industry 4.0 club. And so I'll still listen in on some of those. And you know what? Me keeping it real with building my sustainable technology for agriculture and other things, I actually listen in, not every day, but almost every day. There's agriculture discussion where all these farmers from the Midwest and California are on there talking about their real life and what's going on. And so I found that invaluable, just to listen to real people.
But that to that point. So first thing I do in the morning every day is I get up and I try to do some reading.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking at what's happening, how things are moving. And I just posted something today on Smart Ag and what companies. It's a global movement. And I'm like, there is nothing that makes me feel better from a tech perspective than to see a global movement to truly solve a problem that is now.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
It really is.
Your cousin Bill Gates from up the street just launched this sustainability cloud.
I know.
Yeah. It went GA the other day.
I know. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
What's this?
Sustainability cloud.
What the friggin' hell is that?
So Microsoft decided to build vertical clouds. There's an industrial cloud, and and you can take this one of two ways. You can say, oh, yeah, that's awesome. Or if you're a partner of Microsoft, you could say, oh, thanks for competing with your partners who already built vertical solutions for these industries on top of your cloud. I hear that mostly, actually.
So here's my burning question, though. How are they blending metaverse into all of this?
Oh my God. You know what? They are talking a lot about it at Microsoft. Have you seen the posts about the industrial metaverse?
Luckily, since we're talking about ag, our lovely farmers that keep us fed day in and day out, organic, non-organic, whatever you jam, it's cool. But they are the folks that are the furthest from this metaverse BS and the closest to reality. So I'm not worried about, farmers and metaverse other than for entertainment purposes after they're done with a day's labor. Not for work. I'm sorry.
In my experience spending time with them and seeing some other players, tech players trying to do some ag tech stuff, those one-on-one conversations with the heads of a lot of these big farms, they really push back hard on some of these tech guys that says, oh no, you're going to be able to sit in your farmhouse with your VR goggles and take care of stuff. And I think we've mentioned this before, but the farmers are like, being a farmer is not a job. It's a calling. It's my life. Yeah. And if you told me I wasn't going to get to walk out amongst the crops and drive my tractor or walk through the vineyards and do my thing, I wouldn't want to do this. And so they push back hard on this metaverse thing where they're just going to be doing VR. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
That is kind of a silly sell. I mean, it might make sense for large industrial agriculture companies and, these farming behemoths to use tech like that for remote, let's say, remote operation of farming equipment. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, so we have like a little garden in our backyard, and there's nothing more fascinating to watch strawberries grow. You know what I'm saying? And, as much as the sun, and this is going to sound really, again, cheesy, but I'm going to say it anyways. So as much as the sun, oh God. All right. Am I really going to say this?
You're saying, Leonard, you're from you live in California.
The sun nurtures the strawberries, right? It's the attention and the love of the farmer that makes it grow as well, right? Because if it wasn't for the farmer, man, some animal might come and just like friggin' stomp on that stuff, right? Come on.
Yes.
You gotta love your fruit.
That's right.
You gotta love your fruit.
Our friend Adam sent me this, and I haven't. But there is an article about a 3-day deployment for private network in a farm, and all of a sudden in 3 days, boom, we can have fully autonomous tractors here because we lit up the farm like a Christmas tree. That's super cool. Not only it's cool the whole tech side, but that we're finally having conversations about the time that it takes to deploy these things. It's not complicated. It's less complicated with all the disaggregation and all the virtualization that that networking equipment has been going through the last few years. That I love to hear news like, a couple of days, we got you up and running, and just make sure there's diesel in the truck, and you'll be good until we can put an EV battery there in a few years. Once Bill gets his act together.
I'm saying, but you know what? And I'm glad you said that, because here's something that I feel like we totally miss. Right? We'll talk, and I'm like, I became big on smart ag maybe a year and a half ago, where I was just like, wow, wait a minute, I'm going to work back. So if we're talking about some level of automation, some level of connectivity in the rural areas, that's going to drive some autonomous farm equipment. That's great, but then we got the water shortage, right? So the delivery of water to these farms is an issue. Now we drive that back into water loss and everything like that, and then we drive it to energy efficiency, because it takes energy to pump the water to the distribution that then sends it down to the farmers. This is it's a full ecosystem that really drives energy efficiency across the board and will help us, especially if we get some instrumentation in place to understand where the losses are, because today they don't even understand, right? You're losing more than 48% of your water just in the delivery to the point of service. So I take Smart Ag and I work all the way back and go, from a sustainability perspective, we need to solve this problem for real.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that, part of the problem, I think, is just structurally how the agriculture industry is laid out. I mean, think about how we grow food in mass and the transportation. I mean, how long it takes to get one piece of celery and how far that celery has to travel to get onto a table, right? And one of the things that we don't talk enough about, even though there's some discussion on the periphery, is urban farming. Dude, have you ever seen just go to your city and look at all the empty spaces, these spaces that are not utilized well, that could be used for local agriculture, right? Or, what are those things? What's the term for those farms that are in the controlled warehouses?
Like indoor vertical farming.
Yeah, vertical farming. Yeah, I don't think there's enough investment and thought in that. And think about it. With the vertical farming, you can grow a variety of different crops in those controlled environments and reduce not only the transportation costs, but you can manage a capacity a bit better, probably, especially with IoT and an instrumented environment with all the digital crap that we can throw in there.
Right.
But you would reduce the transportation costs and you would drastically reduce spoilage. And, I think there needs to be more focus there, because I don't think we have a huge brownfield problem, and it's going to be really difficult to really transform that. But, we're probably not thinking enough about how can we get some of these green concepts or greenfield concepts and start to, swing the pendulum this new way. Actually, I don't think it's ever really swung that other way, and have more of this really innovative approaches to agriculture versus trying to solve some difficult large scale problems that we have in the brownfield. Anyway, throw that out there.
No, I mean, as soon as we got the word that in spite of all our best efforts, we still lose 30 to 40% of all food in the supply chain after harvest.
Yeah.
That's a big message. If you just fix that helps save the day. Obviously I listen to podcasts and read books on this stuff, which is crazy. But the whole idea, it's more farms closer to the cities, the urban farming, the indoor vertical stuff, the Netherlands are leading the way and all that stuff. It's not even close. And the output coming out of there is unbelievable. And so,
they even have friggin' cows on barges or something like that. I saw some documentary. They're raising cows on barges.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Weird. Yeah. But hey, if it works, okay.
I'm going to need y'all's help.
Cows.
I'm going to need y'all's help soon. So, this crazy software thing I've been rebuilding, it's getting real now. The whole digital twin, it's gotten super dynamic in that you create models, you create its properties, you're putting out devices that inherit from those, the physical twins, they're sending it. And then I'm dynamically inferring all the stuff, all the data points and data types and on the fly, and then hydrating digital twins, the latest state, historical state and here's the deal for me, just because I come from the real world. I know what real people understand in enterprise and other places and what they don't understand. And so I know the Fortune 500 actually doesn't use almost any of the stuff that tech people talk about. They actually still use pretty boring, mundane stuff. You know what everybody knows? They know SQL. They know the web. Anyway, too many platforms are just putting everything in these undefined JSON files or whatever. So what I've done is found a way. It was really hard to, this is so geeky, just making things strongly typed and dynamically creating database tables and data types and then turning the twins in there. So it's easy for you to query the actual data as if you had created the database yourself. So I don't know if any of that makes sense.
This is why we have judges that don't know the difference between a website and an ISP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, but back to the, look, Rob, I remember, agriculture, it's pegged to a few of the environmental sustainability goals, but it's a wicked problem. I mean, Leonard, as you said, what they're doing in the Netherlands, which at some point I would say, well, we're doing in the Netherlands, but I'm not there anymore. But, from a policy perspective, land management is much easier. It's much easier for the government to say, hey, this land is not being used, so we're going to use it for, agriculture, and there's a better use later that we'll just, give it, like just super easy. And there's no way you can land at Schiphol at the airport without seeing a ton of greenhouses. Not too close to the runways, but basically on all that unutilized space. And, it's a small country, it's centrally located, but you can straight up have bell peppers taken out of the ground at 4 a.m. and be in the center of the city at 5:15. Right?
Yeah. Did anyone ever notice when you were taxiing around in Schiphol that sometimes the runway is so far away from the airport that you might actually be in Belgium or something?
not quite, but yes. If you were taking like an EasyJet, Ryanair, Vueling fly like from another country in Europe, you get the Doom terminal, not the international terminal. And after you land, it's like, well, we're on 3G here. That's got LTE, baby. And then it'll be another 10 minutes to the gate. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. That is the typical story, especially if you have a connection. And there's probably a 95% chance that you will miss your flight, and then you'll have this whole episode of panic trying to get in contact with the airlines to book the next flight.
But even with all the panic I might have at Schiphol, it's way better than trying to go through Heathrow or Charles de Gaulle.
Yes.
Yes. I will actually, that will be my order of preference.
but I wanted to say something. So, like, taking things back to the IoT. So as we're talking about agriculture, I think there's two types of innovations you can drive. One, to handle the brownfield stuff, right? But then also exploring ideas on how to use these technologies and build new applications that can enable new modalities. That I think is like the super interesting stuff. The stuff that is probably going to make more of a difference. Although there's no doubt you can get some benefit on the brownfield side. But the thing is we have so many structural issues that are not going to change no matter how much you digitize the brownfield. At some point, there has to be this mode change. So as you look at urban development or suburban development, I mean, why can't you just friggin' have like professional farmers that go around? You can hire them to like grow your little garden, so everyone can have their own little friggin' French.
Is that like a fractional CFO or something like that?
Fractional farmer.
Fractional farmer.
Yeah. Or, it's like, we have people doing our gardens and crap. What if those were, that was a local garden that produced herbs and vegetables and stuff. And maybe you have like a chicken coop and you can have fresh eggs or
maybe even peaches and herb.
Yeah, for peaches. Yeah, exactly.
You had to go to disc, didn't you?
Yeah. Exactly. No, but those are big. Yeah, obviously big shifts, but those are the things that can bring in new structural efficiencies that the brownfield will never be able to accommodate. Just structurally,
if these farmers can have the infrastructure so that they can let their autonomous trucks, do their thing, then these farmers will have time to be your CFO, your chief farmer officer.
There you go.
Regarding.
I love it.
But look, you guys ever cooked or had any meal that was cooked with saffron? Think of like an Iranian saffron rice, red rice.
Oh yeah.
Well, not only is that amazingly delicious, but have you ever bought saffron? I mean, it's like if I grab one tick of my non-existing hair, it's like $10 worth of saffron.
Ooh, really?
And
Okay.
Well, where I'm going with this is that, we always talk about, I don't know, things like the addressable market, like who's going to buy this? Referring back to this, private network, autonomous trucks. Well, the story says that there's 3. So I can imagine the ROI of, hey, 3 trucks, that's 3 people. And now the trucks are going to be running 24/7. So that's, I can see the business justification. But there are so many crops that are so delicate to harvest that I don't know that they'll be mechanized in our lifetime, like saffron, like vanilla. You're not just shaking, using a tree shaker and picking up the oranges and the apples, but there's such an opportunity for this. And what I want to get commentary on is who in industry, whether it's tech or again, a farmer with a side gig, who are the folks that are going to make it easy for a farmer to consume this technology, to go to a farm in the middle of nowhere and just say, listen, you can put out this infrastructure in such and such a way that will light up this particular area. Yeah. And based on your crop and your water situation and your machinery and the price of the crop, you can get your money back in X. Like we need that. We have people pitching this to big factories for automation. This is how we sell robots today. What we need something like that for ag, and I don't know that we're there yet.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things to think about is this: that you take some of those high value crops that you're talking about, right? The things that cost $10 per like little speck of hair off the top of David's non-existing.
I'm a millionaire.
Head of hair.
Yes, we take loans.
I'm a gajillionaire. But start there and then work your way down the chain. I mean, obviously, who knows? Maybe this whole model could change the kinds of crops that are dominant in the U.S. right now. In the U.S., what's the dominant crop? It's corn, right?
Corn.
So why do we eat so many sweet things? Because we produce such massive amounts of corn that it's almost like oil. You create all kinds of different products.
Remember biodiesel? Speaking of oil.
Yeah.
Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah, exactly.
We still have ethanol.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we might not, there's certain crops out that will make sense to grow out in the way that it's done right now. I mean, wheat is for probably one of those. Yeah. But for these other things, maybe think about how we can do this stuff a lot more sustainable, in a much more sustainable way. I mean, Rob, you always bring up like friggin' nuts and almonds and shit like that. Maybe there's a smarter way of doing that. And
we should grow almonds in the ocean because they need so much water.
But this is how innovations come about, by growing them in the ocean. Shit. We don't have to add salt. We have naturally salted almonds.
Boom!
Wow!
Damn!
Love it.
See, only on IoT Coffee Talk.
That's awesome.
That's why we're on Onalytica.
Total genius.
Oh
That's just like, gosh.
I think we just busted the rankings.
Yeah, if we had good coverage at almond, Jesus, or is it an almond orchard? No, what's the word in English?
Actually, it is.
I think it is.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
Okay. Well, if we had coverage at almond orchards, we should deploy, digital signage and say, "Stop this! Stop using too much water."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I see the actual non-digital signage when I'm driving through the Central Valley on I-5. I see lots.
It's mostly vote for this guy, don't vote for that guy. And then it escalates and there's bad words because, these signs are on their property and they can do whatever they want. It's such a great drive.
Yep. The last time, I've seen, I do that drive a bunch, it seems like. And the one I see a lot of signs that say we need more dams. I see signs, yes, political, talking about your great governor, Gavin Newsom, letting all that fresh water just go to waste in the ocean as it's coming out of the river. I see a lot of those signs. And then you're right. A lot of them are just hardcore because they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my property. Put up a billboard. Here we go.
They can say whatever they want to say. That's true.
I do give them points because it's homegrown. So, the font, they don't go to an agency, there's no brief. It's
right.
Just put it up there.
No agency for the farm.
Freedom of speech, man.
That's right. That's what it is. That's what it is. But I'm serious. I need y'all's help in a big way with this technology I'm doing. I can't do this by myself, even though I am. I need some partners.
Let's go.
And I'm thinking of I probably texted this or whatever, kind of a 1-2 punch. Now that this digital twin thing is easy to use and it's real and we can apply it to lots of stuff, do a 1-2 punch. It's called Greenhouse, but target sustainable everything, along with a book that'll come out during the summer about IoT and sustainability and saving the earth, and just kind of a 1-2 punch.
Oh, wow.
With both of those, a book and the technology to make it real.
You do know that, I think we've all heard this before, right? In terms of building smart and sustainable communities and things like that. All right. So that is going on in a big way here in Texas, in Austin specifically.
All right.
So look at the link I just put in there.
Oh, I love the way that house
community
looks.
3 of them.
Wow. That's nice looking.
And so the notion is, and they're still right now, they own all the land. They're already, preparing to do this. They want everything smart and contained. We're talking about all of the traffic is automated. All of the stuff that we've talked about in terms of smart city, smart community, fiber everywhere. Just the whole thing, all the way into the house.
I love how they have the fake Cybertruck parked there.
You like that?
I do like that. The Cybertruck is so cool if it ever ships. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
You getting one?
No. Maybe.
I'm waiting. I need like a 98 Corolla.
Yeah. Just in case.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. No connectivity to anything.
Roll up the windows like this.
All day.
Fully mechanical. Yep.
Yeah.
So when that electromagnetic pulse hits, you're still okay.
I'll be zooming, doing 38 miles an hour, pedal to the metal. Just,
exactly.
High RPMs, but going.
You'll be going. Everybody else be like, ah. Yeah.
But Rob, for your call for help, I will be one of the first customers I have. There's someone I want to help in the wine industry, and I want to show up there with evidence and just say, look, it's a present. Let's just put this on the ground and let's see what the vineyard says.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You're right.
And that Leonard can put it in his garden for his 2 strawberries.
Exactly. Exactly. He can just
don't talk crap about my strawberries.
He can just put this in his soil. and tell you how his garden grows. Yes. Excellent. Well, is Leonard, are you going to start going to some sessions, Leonard? Yeah, he's already leaving us as well. You should go do your thing, bro.
No, I'm just getting a cord because I have to charge my phone.
That's what it's all about.
Crazy. Like Leonard does this without security. Like there should be someone like a bodyguard, like making sure people are not talking next to him. Because you're recording this. We've got, what's the counter today? Look at this: 752 million people listening to us right now.
Wow!
And they don't need that noise.
There's like nobody here, man.
So, okay. Well, the bodyguard's doing a great job. That's what I mean.
Is this the last day of the event?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Everybody's already bailed.
No, there's actually people here.
Yeah, there's you and one other guy.
Not.
There he is. He just walked in the back.
There you walk by.
Well, I know
you guys are mean.
There's 43 people from Wind River, 68 from Verizon, 49 from HCL. Vic and his people are there. We got Ericsson, we got Maverick, we got Athena, we got Salona. We've got the whole teams are there, man.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. But hey, yesterday I went and I was at a blues jam and at a place called the King Bee in it's I guess it's on the eastern side of downtown.
Okay.
Or it's east of downtown. It's a really cool joint. If you ever visit Austin, check it out. They have some really good. They have a really great house band, and yeah, that was my first time performing in like 2.5 years. Can you believe that?
Wow!
I was going to say, so you got on stage.
I have not been on stage in 2.5 years, and it was weird. Well, the thing that really sucked is the guy who was the lead guitar player and singer for the house band. He was kind enough to allow me to use his guitar because I didn't bring my guitar with me.
Right.
But it was a friggin' Gibson SG. So if anybody knows what an SG is, it's that guitar that Angus Young plays, that weird demonic looking Gibson awkward guitar. That's what this guy was playing. And I told my friend, Sam Gonzalez, I go, oh, geez, it had to be an SG. That is the one guitar I cannot play for the life of me because it is such an awkward, it's an awkward guitar for most people. You have to really get
those about to rock. Leonard can't salute you.
I don't know how Angus plays that guitar.
So the problem is not with PLC 5, it's with the operator, is what you're saying.
No, it's the PLC. It's PLC 5 that's the problem. There's no problem with the operator. Trust me.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's what that dude had, and I was totally doing a hack job. It wasn't really that embarrassing because I was just having fun. I knew that I would be screwing up. So
yeah.
But I didn't have a pick. The guy used something like I think he used a credit card for a pick. It was ridiculous. I was like, hey, dude, can I have a pick? Can I borrow your pick? He said, you don't want to use my pick because it's really weird. It's like, oh, okay, forget it.
You should try using your Apple Card as your pick.
You know what? That thought crossed my mind. I was going to use my hotel key card.
Yeah, that's good.
That would have worked.
But I thought hotel key cards were just to break down flour and other things.
They are.
Oh.
And other things.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys travel, but that's what I hear about.
Yeah. Oh my God. I tell you, just the fact you're on the road traveling, traveling is really expensive right now. I was just looking online. I was like, oh, maybe I'll fly down to Houston or Austin. Yeah. And it was going to be over $1,000 for a flight that used to be $300.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this one cost me about $650. Okay.
That's
so
insane.
maybe it's fine from San Diego.
Yeah.
$650?
It's insane. You should be able to do it for $250 in the olden days.
that is cheaper than driving from San Diego on an F-350.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just look at it and just go, blinders on. This is what it costs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just have to go.
Yeah. I hear you.
And you know, and meet people. That's
right.
It. And it's usually worth it. And this trip was more than worth it. It was like friggin', there's a halo effect. You know what I'm saying? There's a halo effect, and that costs time. That costs a little bit of money, but you just have to make the best of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cannot do this virtual. You can't meet Bill and admire his barrel chest where he can do probably like 500 push-ups without stopping. You cannot do that. I mean, you know, show him your chest, man.
Oh my God.
You cannot tell. I'm telling you.
What I want to know is when this in-person meeting happened and Leonard was just, you know, like wipe the drool of watching your barrel chest. Did he put his hands on you? Did he go like, wow, Bill, it is so nice to meet you, man? Did that happen? Because the comments about your chest, man, I mean, I dig it, but just walk me through it.
No, you know what? I think it was more.
The man does his push-ups, I'm telling you.
You look at everybody in these little boxes, and you're like, hey, "That's a little dude."
Yeah,
you know. And then you see him in person, it's like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
That cat's big.
Dude, but you know what? When I saw that picture, that selfie, that's when I thought Leonard was black until yesterday. And I'm like, no, it's not.
What?
It's oh my God. This, you know, in person is the best.
It's absolutely the best. I mean, I had other meetings there, and so I was like, wow, you know, I'm hoping Leonard's here. So when I got done with my meetings, I was like, where you at? And he was up in there, you know, doing his analyst thing, and you know, judging people. Bang, guilty. Bang, guilty.
What?
Oh my God!
So I run up there, and I almost burned him because I was like so happy to see him. I'm like giving him a pound and pulling him close, and he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "I'm sorry." No, it was awesome.
No, it's not like that.
You are not the father.
Wow, this is starting to look like an episode of like watching TMZ, you know, the way we're talking here, you know, people, you know, I'm kind of sitting on the side of the cubicle. Yeah, I was hanging out at LAX and I saw Emma Stone, and, you know, you wouldn't believe who she was with.
Stone. Yeah.
Chum.
That's what it's coming down to. No, that's great though. I'm so I gotta check out that Onalytica thing, dude. I'm still tripping out.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell's watching this show?
I knew it was coming out, you know, because I know my peeps at Onalytica. They sent me an email last week saying it was going to come out this morning. And I talked to them. I've had conversations with those folks because just like lots of other things, you know, the low hanging fruit for doing that kind of analytics has always been Twitter focused. Yeah. And I was like, you know, my peeps, when we're doing coffee talk, that is a YouTube phenomenon. And I go, you really need to be looking at other channels besides, because it's easy. It's just easy to do analytics on Twitter. It's harder to do it elsewhere.
It's horrible. Dude,
so, you know, you should tell Elon. You should tell Elon that it's really easy to do.
Oh, that's why he's not buying that foolish thing. He's going, oh, most of this stuff is fake. And then, you know, what's going to happen to Onalytica when everyone finds out, like, you know, 50% of the accounts are bots and all the traffic generated is just a bunch of, you know, click farms. You know, I was talking to those guys and I said, oh, so you want, you know, how about LinkedIn? And they don't look at LinkedIn. And so, like, I always wondered, how come I don't show up anywhere? You know, it's like, there's all these people that are like ranked number one.
It's just, it's harder.
Dude, nobody even knows who these people are.
It's just harder to do on LinkedIn.
Yeah. But I mean,
Twitter's easy because you can have APIs to Twitter and you just count hashtags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why Twitter is the dominant way.
Yeah.
But but obviously it's
all
fraught
doesn't-
with fraud. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's still nice to know that we're being recognized somewhere for some reason.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. I'll put the PDF in our little chat.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. You can take a look at it. Yeah. And see.
All right.
Are you guys ready to get out of this place?
Yeah. My legs hurt. I'm squatting here.
Bill, could you take us out?
Yeah.
You know what? Happy to do so. As David mentioned, for the 785 million people that are watching us, I mean, we talk everything from energy efficiency to connectivity to smart ag. Go and smash that like button, because there's nothing like this on YouTube today, tomorrow. We are the preeminent experts as we discuss technology on IoT Coffee Talk. Yes.
Boom.
You see that?
We love you.
Yes.
This is the love that we're sending to you. So everyone, join us next week. Thank you for watching us today. And we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.